shit.
Okay. You're going to hear me run out of breath. It's so bad.
You have a whole baby in there.
Girl, I did a whole solo last week and I was like...
I never thought I'd see the day where you stopped talking. That's great.
I didn't stop. I just took a breath.
You're like, I just needed
a breath, some water, and we resumed. It's not going to stop.
Love you.
Anywho, welcome back to another episode of Shit I'm 30 with me, your host, Carla Ramirez. We are still doing this Zoom recording, but I have a new studio set up at home, I shall say. So I like when I have in-person recordings because my friends get to come over. Not strangers, because stranger, danger.
And I just had a flashback. Like, I'm 30.
You sure
Remember,
are.
I was like, can I even be on here?
Mm-hmm. You're 30, honey.
I'm 31. So
you can
that.
be here. Weren't you 30 last time?
No, I was 29.
It was right before your birthday.
It must have been like right before my birthday.
Literally.
I was like, I don't think I can be on here.
Like, my birthday's in like a week. Not quite
Not
for me. Anywho, that amazing voice you guys hear is my friend Jenna. You guys see me or hear me talking about it possibly on social media. And here on the pod, I know I bring you up all the time. But she is the owner of Salon Catalyst. But we'll talk about that in a minute because she's just so cool. And I want to like do the whole breakdown of it all.
I love you.
But while we're doing this, I wanted to start off with shit you should know for this week. And this week, it's funny because I talked about this before. And I love scammers to a certain extent. But I also love when they get caught because they're so flashy at times that it's like, come on, you knew better. But this part, I think it's
You
after
have to
I grew
be better
up.
about your scamming.
Yes, you have to be better about scamming. Mm-hmm. Bring that closer to you, though. And like a penis up to your mouth, the way you like it.
I knew we wouldn't get far.
We weren't going to get far.
Okay, the scammer alert.
Scammers. So when this whole COVID thing happened, I knew that the government at some point was going to find a way to lock people up, get more money out of people. Like, we lost a lot of money. Mm-hmm. So when the whole PPP loan started coming, like the Paycheck Protection Program, the SBA loans, small business loans, unemployment, there was so much money being given out. And granted, the government is just printing out money. So
yeah, there wasn't really too many protocols on it.
No.
It was just like, here, fill this paper out. Here's $5,000.
And that to me seemed so fishy. So I remember having this argument per se with Wax, as y'all would think like you guys are gonna kill each other, but it's really just us arguing on a regular basis. And he's like, just do it for this, do it for that. And I'm like, bro, no. He's like, yo, my friend, this guy is doing it. He got this much money. But we really do have LLCs. And I was like, there's just something about these loans that's not sitting right with me, especially with me coming from accounting and remembering like I worked for this huge law firm. Mm-hmm. It was a what's it called? They were the attorneys for like Bank of America, Wells Fargo for mortgages.
Okay, like foreclosure.
They went,
like foreclosure.
Yes, foreclosure. Okay. They went bankrupt and had so much debt and got in so much legal trouble because of what they were doing. Mm-hmm. And I remember being in the accounting department and moving money.
Is that
when
you showed up and the office was closed?
That's when they put us all 700 people in a chat, like a call, and fired everyone.
Oh, by the way.
Yeah, by the way, like you're not getting paid for the next 3 weeks.
I remember
like,
that.
For the past 3 weeks.
Yeah.
It was intense. It's like right after my birthday, and I worked on my birthday. It was May 15th.
Well, that's a lesson learned.
Don't you ever work for the man on your birthday, ever.
That's the number one.
Mm-hmm. So anywho, the point is that I knew, and I've talked about, be very careful about taking this money from the government. If you need it, and if you truly, like, it's there for people that need it, but don't overdo it. And I saw so many people overdo it because it was such easy money. Mm-hmm. And right now, you remember the group Pretty Ricky? Pretty Ricky. I don't know their names, but is that not how you do it, May? Oh, okay. She's younger. She might know a little bit more than I do.
I was just more shocked. Like, oh God, which one of them went to jail? That's what I was saying.
She's definitely way better because I don't know any of them.
Yeah, I don't.
Other than like Spectacular, and I think the only reason I know him is because of the business venture of that Twitter account, the Twitter cat account that he sold for I don't know how many millions. Anyhow, we'll talk about that some other time. His name is Baby Blue. On Pretty Ricky. Okay. And there is a $24 million PPP loan scam. Yeah, and he's part of it.
$24 million?
$24 million. So basically, Mr. Blue, Mr. Pretty Ricky, went on Instagram and he basically put up a picture, which is what drives me the most crazy, how much we just love social media and attention. Doesn't matter what it's for. And he's like, wish me luck, see the judge in 30 minutes. And that was his caption. It's just like,
You're like, what did you do? We need more answers.
we knew it was for the PPP, but we're like, wow. So this guy apparently got like $500,000 and did all these PPP loans that he got himself. He didn't get the full $24 million. It was like between 11 people. It was like a whole scheme going on. He bought a Ferrari. Was just flashy on Instagram. What else he did with the money, I don't know. But my thing is out here, y'all, when something seems it's free and it seems so easy, something is coming behind it.
Probably, yeah.
Like something's gonna happen. Nothing in this world comes free or too easy without having to pay some type of way.
And my thing is like getting them as well. Like I got the SBA loan. I got it to replace my income that I'm missing and that I'm probably going to keep missing because a whole recession is coming.
Right.
So I'm like to take that and just go blow it, and then concerts are like canceled. Concerts. Why did I say that word? Concerts are canceled. Like you're not making any money. You're not working. People aren't traveling. That's why they gave you that money.
Probably.
And then your Ferrari's gonna get repoed.
But you go and buy a Ferrari. That's not
so
replacing an income.
That's so dumb.
Like when I brought this up with you because you had a business that was literally shut down from the get go. Like you went from making as much money as you make to zero.
And it was during my busy season. It's so hurtful.
So she's like Tanny, and we're here in Florida. You know, we don't really have a winter. So summer for us starts February, March.
March is when it starts. So in March, I should be making like $16,000 a month or more, and it just was zero. Like it just went to zero
completely,
just nothing.
And there's not like you're expecting a company to be like, well, we'll still give you 6 months of pay because you don't get paid by anyone. You make your own money.
And we still had to pay our rent. They didn't care.
I still couldn't believe that they used to have to pay your rent.
Well, and that's really shitty because the rent, like the people who we pay rent to, they're like, oh, well, get a PPP or like get an SBA, which is what they got. So it's like, so you got a PPP to cover the rent, right? And then you want us to still pay you. I just thought that was really shitty because like, well, you got paid. So they pretty much got double rent.
That's fucked up.
In reality, which I thought was super fucked up.
Yeah, that's really fucked, especially like as long as you've been there and has loyal as you.
But on our plaza, 5 businesses left.
Wow. Mm-hmm. And it's not like it's 100 place plaza.
No, it's a small plaza.
Wow.
Almost half the plaza left.
I keep seeing, I saw LA Fitness is gone.
So many places are closing.
So like big places and so many mom and pops. But that's what really upsets me because somebody like Pretty Ricky, you're still getting royalties.
Yeah, you didn't need them.
You didn't need the money.
All right, let's talk about the royalties though. How much royalties are they really
Didn't they
getting
go on that tour?
I mean, yeah, but royalties are a
tour?
joke. And especially now with streaming, it's like it's like a bundle royalty kind of situation.
But I think he was hungry though. His big ass was not hungry.
Well, that's the thing. Like you're taking it, you're not using it
for what you're supposed to.
Yeah.
So like if you were to be a part of this scam, let's say you two were the ones who got $21 million, and how were you going to funnel the money? What would you two do?
Funnel it?
I would open a school.
I'm thinking like a drug lord. I would open a car wash.
School, car wash. What, a pawn shop?
Listen, I would definitely open a pawn shop. Idea to launch would be fucking popping right now. May's paycheck would be bomb. Like I'm putting May on payroll.
I'd find ways to spend it.
The paycheck protection is for May. May, hold these $20.5 million for me real quick because she's amazing. No, but it really did hurt me because I've seen so many mom and pop shops close and so many businesses close that got rid of their employees that have no living now, and you see them now struggling. And
then you have these people
like this. So I just thought that was really, really fucked up. And if you are one of the people that took a PPP or a SBA loan and you didn't really need it and used it for bullshit like vacations or clothes or to get your ass done, which a lot of people did.
They're like you're gonna be fine in jail.
Right. You're fine as fuck.
In jail.
You better hope you got really good teeth if you got your teeth in so they don't take them out. Because they be taking teeth out in jail.
I mean, I can't keep talking too much shit on this subject because I'm like, my loan went to some stuff. None of that stuff.
Oh.
It went to like investment purposes. But
no, you'll be fine because you're going to pay it back.
I'm going to pay it back.
And it went
hopefully
to business.
Before they ask questions. Was it like Ask for forgiveness instead of permission. I live my whole life on that principle, pretty much.
Her life, the way and the principles of Jenna, like, are all ones that we should adapt, and we'll talk about them during the episode.
I would say fuck it is my biggest one.
Oh, for sure.
Like, fuck it. Whatever.
She is the most nonchalant person in the whole entire world. Like, I don't know anyone more nonchalant than you. Like, the way I describe you, your mother, for sure. But I know you're the product of your mother.
Yeah, that's true.
So it doesn't surprise me that that's who you are. When I try to explain who you are to people or how you are, because I do it often. I don't know why I'm always talking about you.
I always talk about you.
I'm like, so I have this one friend that the world could be burning and crashing outside, and she's just like, well, what's the worst that can happen? Are we gonna die? No, it's okay.
It's fine.
Well, we can replace everything. Is everyone healthy? Do we have food? Okay, perfect. We're good. We'll replace everything later.
I feel like, let's go to the beach. There's water there. The fire can get to us.
Can we take a quick 15-minute nap?
It's fine. After my nap.
After the nap. So there's a few things that I want to talk to Jenna about today. And one of them was, I brought her on a Patreon episode a year ago, some change. Yeah. And we talked about, business and what she does. But she has a very interesting business. And one of the principles that I love about you, because with the idea to launch my thing was I wanted to uplift voices of people of color. And it's like in a space where it wasn't shown. We weren't the norm, and we didn't really have anyone to help us. And when I see how you move and what you do, I got my very first spray tan from you. And I don't even remember why I did it.
Probably because I told you.
Yeah.
I'm like, so I need you to be here at this time with the bathing suit
Most likely she told me to, or it was a birthday and she's like, get it done. I was
trying to talk you into it, yeah.
Something, and I'm like, why do I need a tan? I am brown. I'm good. I got this. But she's like, no, try it. And I loved it. But then I realized, like, your whole thing is spray tanning, waxing, and skincare, and all this fun, beautiful things that aren't usually shown for women of color.
And it's the same exact thing. It's like, if you don't see yourself, right? Like you just did with the podcasting. Like, it's like, I'm seeing these podcasts. I'm seeing this thing taking off, but I don't see me in it.
Right.
And I think, like, with spray tanning, or really it's just the beauty industry as a whole, you do, like, if you look up facials or waxing or massage, like, if you go to the Google images and you see the images that are portrayed, it's white people. And they're slim and they're young. And that's who gets these services. Right. Like, that's who these services are for. And when you look up tanning, I mean, you're not going to see anyone of color in any of those.
I think the only time you see women of color or people of color period getting tan is during those shows.
Competitions.
Those competitions. Yeah. Why did I growl?
I mean, I got it. It's pretty recognizable what you're talking about.
That's what they're doing. But that's the only place I've ever seen people of color get tanned. Yeah. So can you give me, like, your spiel of what you tell people why we should get it? Because I still don't know how to explain when someone tells me, girl, you already got color. Stop with the bullshit.
Well, I mean, I guess, like you just said, it's like your color, right? So if you're black or mixed or Spanish or anything, you have a skin tone.
Right.
So being black doesn't equate to having a darker skin tone. Like, being mixed or being Spanish doesn't equate to having a dark skin tone. So when you spray tan, you become even and you just have a darker skin tone. And it looks natural. It's fitting, because it's like, I tell people it's pretty much like getting your summer color, you know, like when you're the shit and you've been to Miami a couple times and you're just like glowing. Oh, I love it. That's what you get in 3 minutes of getting a spray tan.
And it literally is like 3 minutes.
And it covers stretch marks. It evens out cellulite. I think, like, for women of color, the biggest thing and the biggest reason for getting it is to become even. Mm-hmm. Because what we have an experience with is, like, let's say you do go to the beach, or, you know, you go out on the boat or something. If you're maybe covered from here to here, so let's say you have a one piece on, whatever, you are never going to achieve evenness. Because even if you went to the nude beach and you laid out completely naked, these areas are getting darker and these areas are getting darker, but you're never becoming even.
Yeah, my thighs are always way darker.
I say that it goes from, like, dark to light, and the same, like, dark to light. Like, it progressively gets lighter, like, when you get towards the middle of your body.
Okay.
Like, at, like, butt, thighs, back, stomach, chest. So when I spray tan someone who's uneven, I'm not going to spray your arm as much as I'm going to spray your stomach. Okay. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I'm going to, like, create evenness in your body.
So I call myself Rihanna. every time I leave the tanning salon.
You're perfect.
Because if you
she gets spray tans.
Exactly.
So that's why.
That's why the bitch is perfect.
Cardi B, like just everyone. Yeah.
We're thinking of these women and they're like, oh my God, they're just so perfect. Or like they lay out in their skin tones.
They're not.
No,
they have spray tans.
It's a glow spray tan that you put on because it's not like, oh, I look super dark at first before I shower because you have the
bronzer.
color thing.
It's like makeup.
It's like a makeup for you to see what you're doing, I guess.
Yeah.
But after I shower the next day or whatever, or if we do the rapid one, right? It's like a couple hours. I ask you every single time.
You're like, when I shower, what do I do?
Can I take a shower now? Like, is it long enough?
Like, it's been like an hour. No, you cannot.
But when I look at myself after I shower, it's just my stretch marks on my booty look good. My breast, it's just my face looks flawless.
It's so pretty.
Once you're done,
like a makeup on. Your whole body looks like you have makeup on.
Is put on mascara, chapstick, fuck a lip gloss.
Not if you have lashes. You
don't. Oh, well. I don't have time to be laying down anymore. Like, I love how they look.
Lashes are my favorite beauty treatment in the whole world.
I love how it's my favorite look wise. I cannot.
We do lashes at Catalyst Salon. Shameless plug.
No, you do everything there. We're gonna talk about everything that you guys do because it's a salon. It's a full service salon. But what I love about you is not only the spray tanning aspect of it that we might not think that we belong in, and also heavier set women.
Yeah, and that's a big thing too because I remember like one time I had this client who called me. I'll never forget her. She wanted to book 2 appointments.
Why?
Right? So she was trying to convince me how she needed 2 appointments because everywhere she'd ever gone, she had to get 1 spray tan and then she had to come back the next day to get another spray tan and they could fix it because she was heavy. She was overweight.
What?
So she was just totally convinced and had these people just totally convince her that because of her and because of her size and because of her weight, she had to get 2 spray tans.
Wow.
And I was just so confused. Like, no, you don't. I didn't understand what she was saying.
So do you think they were trying to get more money out of her or they just didn't know how to spray tan
And then they didn't know how to spray tan her.
Oh, wow.
So with me, like, I use towels and gloves. So if someone, like if you have a back roll, like you're just going to have to lean over and then I'm going to powder the area. Or if you have bigger breasts, like you just hold them up with a towel. There's things you can do. Whereas maybe someone who doesn't understand curves or they don't understand being plus size, they don't understand, like a different body than theirs, they're not going to know what to do.
Wow.
Yeah. It's a different service. Or they'll charge more.
Oh.
I've heard of places charging more if they have to use more solution.
So today I was on Amazon because it's Prime Day and my booty's really big now. And so I have to get size extra large for my top because the tatas. And then I usually don't wear underwear, but the whoppy wop down there during pregnancy is serious. So I have to wear underwear now about 40% of the time. So and now I'm like, oh, I gotta get underwear because I just can't just be freeballing because it's just, whoppy. So I went on and when I saw the price difference between the smalls, which I usually get, and I had to get the large underwear, it was a $3 difference.
And you're like, for what? This much? Like this much fabric? Come on, people.
So how much more solution are you really using on a heavier set person? Is it like double the amount?
And even if it was double, for my business costs, it's nothing I'm going to pass along to the client. And here's another thing. Like if I spray tan someone who's slimmer and I use less solution, am I going to charge them less?
Oh.
No. I'm going to charge what I charge.
Yeah.
So I don't understand that concept.
It's
not a normal thing. I'm not saying like a lot of people are doing this, but there is like, if you want to be darker or if you want to have more solution on you, they're going to charge more. And I'm more so like, the cost is so minimal that I'm not going to pass that along to a client. I'm just going to do a good job.
Right. You rather
make them
the
happy.
end result and you'll have them coming more often.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like that's what good business is all about. I love the way you do business because, I mean, I also grew up in business and you're all about the client. And I love that the clients that come to you, they can relate to you. Yeah. So whether it's a woman of color or it's somebody who's not super slim, or like I love coming to you because I don't feel like those girls. I would never get.
I'm like, you want to see my cellulite?
No, you shut up. I would. That's literally what she says to me. Because when I go to these other places, the girls are literally 110 pounds.
Yeah.
They have the little teeny beanie waists, and they're already tan. And I'm like, I would never go there to get tan. You're just like, hey, girl, you look like me, so I don't feel as intimidated when I go in there on my days that I feel bigger, or knowing that I don't have the, like, you know, the little hourglass shape, my ass indents, I have my stretch marks. Like,
story of my life. I get that. It's like you use it to your advantage who you are. Yeah. And you mold your business around who you are. And that's what I preach. Like, you're your brand. Right. You are your business. So me being a woman of color and being plus size, like, I'm going to promote to women like that. They're going to be more drawn to me. Like, that's who I am as a person.
I couldn't imagine going to anybody else.
And that's how I am in my business.
And there's another thing that I couldn't imagine doing either. And it's like putting my vagina on anyone else's face other than hers. Other than
all the vaginas.
Other than waxes. You know, vaginas. My man's here, put it in here. And then it's like the one woman in the world who's gotten my vagina on their face has been Jenna. So that's how I not text her. I'm like, hey, can I give you my vagina sometime this week? Because we're wolfing.
It is pretty ridiculous because, like, I like vagina, my face. And I don't even realize it because I'm just like, I'm not looking at. This is what I tell people. I'm like, I'm not looking at your vagina. Let's just, like, get this straight, right?
Getting the job
I'm
done.
Like getting the hair, getting your ingrown, like waxing this, making sure this is gone, looking at that. I'm not looking at your vagina.
Well, you are.
I am.
But you're not looking at it in a sexual way.
And I don't even know. I'm like, okay, let me envision what Carla's vagina looks like right now. I don't know. I don't, like, keep a memory bank of women's vaginas in my brain. I wax, I take the hair off. I do, we're good.
Do you have a memory bank of people that you've been with?
Like slept with?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's too much.
Huh?
No. No.
When you just made me think, like, do I remember what their shit looks like? And I don't think I do.
Oh, no. Definitely not.
I don't remember. Anyway,
I thought you meant, like...
Quick question.
Yes.
Did you learn anything about, like, like, I guess women and their bodies and I guess their insecurities, since you're just so in there? You know what I mean? It's like such a vulnerable space.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think you would have, like, you learned from this that you wouldn't have learned just being a woman and understanding women?
That is a great question, May. I love that. So on Thursday, I'm speaking at a virtual summit, and literally you just embodied everything I'm talking about. So I'm speaking on the beauty, right? Like, just the whole beauty. And what I noticed is, right, like, you have this perception of beauty, and I call them genetically modified women because they're not real. But people don't know they're not real, right? Like, you grow up, you see this image of beauty. This is who you need to be. This is who you need to aspire to be. And also your self-esteem and your confidence and your self-love is, like, directly correlated to beauty. So the more beautiful I am, the more I'm going to have these things, right? But then I have these women who, by society standards, are beautiful, right? Like, they're tall, they're white, they got the boobs, they got, no stretch marks, no cellulite. They're perfect, and they don't see it. Like, they don't think they're beautiful. They can't see it. And it's always, I have to get this surgery, or that's why they're getting a spray tan, or they want me to cover this, or can you make this smaller? Can you make this bigger? The apologies, like, for the stretch marks or for the cellulite or, I don't know, scars because they beat in cancer. And it's like, you're alive, right? Like, your body beat cancer.
Right.
And you're apologizing to me because I have to see your scar.
That should be like a trophy you're wearing.
Right? And so I call it the trap, right? It's like, those things aren't achievable by beauty. You don't get confidence. You don't get self-esteem. You don't love yourself more because you've just, reached this level of beauty that society has told you. You just are those things, and you are beautiful, and it's your compass. Like, you decide, and that's it. There's no questions about it. And if you can live in that mindset, it's a wonderful place to be.
Which is the mindset that my friend lives in.
I'm naked all the time.
Jenna doesn't wear clothes.
No, I don't wear bras.
You're the embodiment of being confident.
But I would have never, ever gotten here if I wouldn't have worked with those women.
Okay.
I would have never seen it. Where do you have access to, unlimited amounts of women? No makeup, no Spanx, no clothes, like just natural.
You're in a vulnerable state. Just like when you go to the gynecologist, like open wide, we're going in there.
Yeah.
You're super vulnerable. Now, you don't only do women, you do men as well.
I do,
Do you get the same shame from men?
About their bodies?
Yeah.
No. Absolutely not. Like, you would think it's my lucky day that like,
I kind of wish I could bring Wax in here, but I'm not. Because we have been having this argument now for... Why didn't I think to call you while we're having this fucking debate for the past week, right, May? The whole circumcision and labia. Why didn't I think to fucking call you? Like, you're the person there with the dicks and vaginas all day long.
Yeah.
So we're having this argument because he calls uncircumcised penises sick meats. He said that all uncircumcised penis, they just have schmegma.
No.
Right. So then I'm like, well, there's women that are very uncomfortable with their labia.
Yes.
I'm not going to call it something else. And because I'm learning how to be like socially conscious and being nice to people. So when he, what I first said to him was like, hey, listen. So when you call uncircumcised penises like sick meats, it's the equivalent of myself as a woman saying that a roast beef pussy is ugly. So he just started arguing with me. But then I was like, look, there's so many women uncomfortable with their labia that they get it cut. And he's like, I've never heard of any woman getting it cut.
I've had clients that do it.
That they get it done.
Yeah. It's
pretty common.
It's pretty common. But again, it's because the only vaginas that you see are like porn or, you know, like maybe Twitter or whatever, right? And they like typically the vaginas that you're going to see in media are going to look a certain way. And that is not how I would even say a majority of vaginas look. Really? And it doesn't have anything to do with your age or your partners, right? Like I have women that are like 16, 17, right? And they, I mean, like roast beef or whatever you would call it, they have
outer
that
labia,
versus women that are in their 50s and 60s and they've had like 7 children. It's not like, oh, you did something wrong or, you know, you slept around or you did something to your vagina. It's just how they are.
I wasn't aware of outer labia until my 20s when my friend Claudia, it's actually Carla's cousin, shaved me because I didn't know. I only knew how to like trim. I had never shaved my whole vagina because I was scared that I would cut myself.
It's understandable.
So I was like, help me. I'm a late bloomer. So I was like, help me. So I went to her house. She's like, lift your leg up. No problem. Go in the shower. So here we are, super comfortable with each other. Lift my leg up. And she's like, ew. Oh my God. And I was like,
oh my God, what?
What happened? And she's like, where's the rest of your shit? And I'm
like, you have a beautiful vagina.
I was like, what do you mean? Where's the rest of it? So she has the outer labia.
Yeah.
And she had never seen in person one like mine. So she was freaked out by mine. I was freaked out by hers. And I was like, well, what is that? What is that? So then she's like, I don't know how to shave you because I don't know how to do that. So she didn't help me. But that's when I found out about outer labia, and that's when I started realizing a lot of women have issues with it.
And I love that because, like, how many of your friends' vaginas do you see? Typically,
you don't. But
you
now
don't really see women in their like natural state often. No,
not at all. We see each other. I think we see each other's boobs way more often than we would see our vagina. Like the vagina's tucked in there.
Yeah, you'd really have to be like on display.
Open up wide, baby. Open up wide.
Yeah.
No, but my question to you is maybe you know, maybe you don't know. Are women born, like, I haven't changed that many baby girl diapers, but I don't ever remember seeing a baby girl with outer labia. Is that something that grows with time?
I think it grows with time as you develop. Okay. No, I don't think you're not born like that. No. I'm pretty I mean, I haven't seen too many.
Maybe like boobs. It grows like boobs?
Yeah, I think it's like
puberty?
Something genetically, right? Like that determines whether
I got mine done. Screw you.
What it's gonna look like, but that's just like over time.
Maybe that's like why mine didn't grow. So when you have little boobs, you have an any vagina.
Oh, that's a thing. Are you saying this is the thing?
Yeah,
it has been scientifically proven.
No, this might be fake news.
I'm thinking.
I was like, oh, okay.
Since my boobs didn't grow and I had to get them done.
I will do some research for you on that.
Solid theory, though. But I did have a question since you brought up shaving, right? Mm-hmm. So what is something that you see that women do often that we shouldn't? I think we all kind of know, don't put perfumes up there, right? But what do you see like another thing that we just always do that we need to stop doing?
Oh, I would say like the soaps that you use down there a lot. I see a lot of women that are like extremely irritated to the point where I'm like, I don't even really think I can wax you, right? Like, what kind of soap are you using? I say like baby soap, or they have like Honey Pot now, you know, or
you like Honey Pot, that the brand?
I like it. That's what I use. And then baby powder. Like, baby powder has had class action lawsuits against them for ovarian cancer.
Oh, that's probably why my shit came, and I should call my grandma to give me some more of her inheritance.
There's so many chemicals and baby powder, and then the problem is where you're putting it, like in your underwear or where your thighs are, it cakes and like it can go inside your vagina.
Honey, my grandma would put it like after every shower. We call it talco, which is powder, and with perfume on it, so it's like the smelling kind.
Yeah,
and she would put it on my vagina.
Oh yeah, no,
after
don't do that.
Every bath.
Don't do that. Maybe like cornstarch. I don't know, like maybe something without chemicals, right? Like when I do waxing, I use powder, but I use cornstarch, and I'm wiping it off. It's not like it's getting absorbed. I also see a lot of women that have a lot of issues with chafing.
I'm getting that.
Yeah, so there's
you taught me a trick with that.
What? The monostat cream?
You said the monostat. Yeah, I was like, why are you giving me? I'm like, you're giving me yeast infection stuff for my thighs.
So Monostat sells a anti-chafing cream.
I just knew I was putting yeast infection cream on my thighs.
No, when I say Monostat, I have to like quickly follow up with like the chafing cream. But it is like a game changer. It is a miracle because so many women, they don't know what to do about it. They don't really. Maybe if they're overweight and their friends aren't, they don't have someone who can relate to chafing, and it causes like heat rash. It's pretty serious. Yeah. So I tell them, the Monostat chafing cream is really awesome. It's like a primer. I use.
What about deodorant? Mandy uses deodorant.
I would not use deodorant near. It's kind of in the same category as like the perfume? The baby powder. It's like chemicals and it's like getting up in there.
Oh, maybe maybe
if you have like a crazy night out, and her vagina is in a lot of people's faces.
I learned last summer.
I could see why she would use it.
No, I'm not gonna lie. So Mandy taught me last summer. So she would always rub deodorant on her inner thighs and under her boobs.
I probably wouldn't.
Okay.
But I know that's a thing.
That's what I'm saying. So it's a thing that we shouldn't do. Use the
I'm not a doctor. I would say if you brought that up to a doctor, they probably tell you not to do it. But like my personal opinion, I probably wouldn't do that.
There's another thing that I had no idea until recently. And it was funny because I actually told my doctor about it. I went to go because I can't see my vajayjay anymore.
I can't see mine sometimes.
Girl, so it's looking like our hair at the moment. It's so bad. But it was really, really bad. I'm like, I need to do something about this. I really want to sit on his face. And this is just rude. So I come over and you start going, and I'm usually a crybaby. I will admit, I'm a screamer. I've gotten better throughout the years. And then it hurt so bad. And I remember you kept asking me, do you want to do the whole thing? And I'm like, why does this bitch keep asking me the same fucking question?
Of course I do.
Don't I always do the whole thing?
But you don't have to.
But I've never not done it, so I didn't realize why you kept asking me that. But you knew something that I didn't know, and that I was more sensitive down there pregnant.
Oh yeah, you're way like a lot of places they won't wax you in your third trimester.
No one told me.
And I've even had clients where like I wax them through their whole pregnancy, and when you get towards the end, like I'll do one pull and some of their skin will come off. And I'm like, well, that's not like you're bleeding or anything. Like it just looks a little like shiny, And I'm like, yeah, we're done here. Because your body chemistry changes so much. You have your hormones. Like, there's pressure. So, yeah, like waxing and pregnancy is a tricky subject.
Well, I was about to tell you, when should I come in? Just kidding.
No. I have clients who, like, when it gets, really to that point, right? Like, I'll maybe wax a little bit, but I'll just trim for them. Yeah, I'm like, you can't get down here. If you tried to get down there with a trimmer, you'd probably cut yourself.
I'll tell you what happened. I cut myself.
Yeah. Look at that.
Okay, confession hour. I cut my clit.
If you can't see, no.
It wasn't the other day. It was maybe 3 weeks ago. Another reason why I haven't called you to come.
Oh my God.
Because I have a trimmer, right?
If you can't see it, like if you can't shave it, why the fuck would you think it was okay to use a trimmer?
Let me tell you what I did. I charged the bad boy up.
This is rough.
It had lots of power, and I grabbed my mirror and I put it on the side of the shower tub.
No.
And I sat on the toilet and propped my booty up a little bit, so I actually lifted it up all the way. The toilet seat. and I have more space. So I can kind of see, but when I was going down, it caught like the top of my clit, and bro.
No.
When I tell you, I screamed, and I couldn't scream too loud because then Wax was gonna know what I was doing, and he probably would have cussed me out. And it's like,
probably
you're really not gonna get it now. And now I'm like, I look like I have some shit going on down there because it's just, it was so painful for like a week and a half.
Oh.
So it's healed now. It's all better. But I gotta figure something out.
Well, so this is not like a service I offer, but like to my clients and friends, like I would trim you.
So why don't you have a pregnancy
trimming service? I mean, maybe I can look into it. I guess so, but you clearly cannot do it yourself.
Everyone is pregnant.
Literally everyone's pregnant.
I believe you would make a killing with all us pregnant hoes. Like,
I'll look into it. Pregnancy, vagina trimming.
You have to. We can't do anything.
You can't.
And our hair grows so fast. Like my vagina hair is growing so fast.
Yeah, I know. What's the hormones?
It's insane. And I can't. So yes, can I please get a trim? You can sit me outside and we can do a whole like video about it.
We added a new service to my salon today.
We have to find ways. So one of my favorite ways, we're not going to keep talking about my stories and my how bad I am, but we do have some stories of a few because you have so many. But let's talk about some of your best ones that you just told me about before we started. This one, I didn't know about this one. So we got to start with that one because I've heard them all, or not all, but most.
So I wax men, right? Not often, really. And I was waxing this guy one time, and he just was on his phone the whole time, right? So I'm like, okay, maybe he's doing emails, or, it's painful. So maybe in an effort to deal with the pain.
I'm sorry. But do you wax like?
Just all the things.
Okay.
All the things.
The ass.
The balls.
Around. Does the dick doesn't have hair, right?
Just like the very, like top of the shaft does.
Okay.
But besides that, not really, no.
Okay, so John Schmo is on his phone.
So he's on his phone, and I'm like, you know what, whatever. He's not talking to me. He's not being weird. This is really like the ideal situation, honestly. So I don't know. I had him in a different position to where like I could see his phone, and he was watching porn. I remember
porn, baby, porn. What kind of porn?
I don't remember. This was so long ago, but I was like, I'm pretty sure in my head, I was like, this motherfucker. Like, I need to be charging way more right now. Like, you're getting charged double for this.
So what? Was his dick hard?
Not that I recall, but it's like, people enjoy pain. Some people enjoy pain. So clearly he was in that category, and he was just like super getting off on what was happening to him and watching porn. And I remember being like, yeah, like really like this motherfucker. I cannot believe that's what he's been doing on his phone.
Because it takes you way longer to do men.
It did until I did a training, and now it's not so bad. It's like double the time, maybe like 15 minutes is what I book for women, and I book 30 for men.
Oh, okay.
It's not a huge difference.
Do women, since you're saying some people enjoy pain, are there women that get off on it?
I have yet to meet them. I think it's a man thing.
Oh, it's a man thing?
Men are weird.
I guess I'm just trying to ask you from a business owner and a woman's perspective, what do you do in that situation? Like, luckily, you're the most nonchalant person ever. You feel me?
Yeah.
So I feel like Carla would have handled it a little differently from the way you would have handled it.
I'd be like, you fucking perv. Let me see. No, I'm just kidding.
I feel like you would have like taken the phone and like threw it.
Like, you dirty bastard. Get out and pay me double. I just gave you a sex service for a sex worker.
I don't know. I don't remember. Like, I don't think I did any of that.
I don't see you doing anything.
No, I was probably just like, oh, okay, that's what we're doing here.
But you're also very open sexually.
Yeah.
So you're not a judgmental sexual person. Like, I'll be like, that's like, yeah.
It's not, but I don't even think it's about judgment.
Like, just
it's more of
probably like
respect.
disrespect. Yeah.
Yeah. Because like, do you all day? You can watch porn, maybe even in the lobby. You know what I mean? But like during the, like, come on.
I did not see him again. Right?
After
like,
that?
Yeah, no, he didn't get an appointment again. Anytime I've had people that are a little weird, they don't get appointments again.
You just,
no. And I've like stopped services. I had a guy one time who grabbed my hip Like he like touched me while I was waxing him, and I was like, if you touch me again, you are leaving. And he's like, oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, blah, blah. And he touched me again, my hip. And I was like, okay, we're done. And I charged him and he had to leave.
So you left him like with a half a mowed lawn.
Whatever amount we had gotten to.
I would have ripped so hard. I would have like put extra wax on his balls and just and now you gotta go.
And now you have to go. No, I don't think I did all that. I was just kind of like, well, you have to pay me. And I think like waxing men is so great for me because I'm like, I get paid from them. I charge them double. I'm inflicting pain on them. I'm like, this is like ideal like scenario for me. Like, I'm like, I love this. And I think like I would tell people, because I've had girls like, oh, well, your boyfriend or, you know, whatever, like, oh, if you wax guys. And I think I did have a guy that I was dating who didn't like it, right? He's like, oh, I don't really like this. And I remember like calculating what I made from waxing men and approaching him as if, well, if you would like to pay me this, right, then I have no problem not waxing men anymore. Like I approach things very like business minded and numerical. If you don't like this, that's fine. I understand that. So this is what I make. And if you are willing to replace that income for me, then no problem. That's fine.
I think you guys now understand why I love her so much and why we get along.
And then there was no more argument about it.
Go ahead and continue with the dick and balls.
Okay, thanks.
Like, do you need some of my friends to come?
You need more business.
I will post it.
And like, I mean, 98% of my business is women. It's not like, you know, it's like this huge thing that I see men, but I see them. They don't bother me for the most part.
Tell me another crazy story that you might have gotten with one of your housewives.
My housewives. Oh, I mean, lots of like secret families. I hear like, you know, they catch the husband and he has like a whole condo and like a whole other wife and kids somewhere. Lots of swinging. Like, I'm trying to think.
Have you had the main chick and the side chick both come see you?
Huh. I don't know.
You did, actually. I'll tell you later who it is.
I've definitely had women come to me and I know their boyfriends and I know that their boyfriends cheat on them. So that's kind of weird, right?
Yeah.
Most of the men that I know that have sent their girlfriends to me, they're not with them anymore. Because I feel like I like subconsciously like try and like sneak little things. Like, do you really like him? So like, oh, you guys had a fight? Oh no! Like, tell me more about that. I'm like, I'm always team woman. Like, there's not.
And what's crazy about it, you're so team woman, and you have a son.
I do, but I raised him to be team woman too. I'm like, you open doors, you wash dishes, you take out the trash, you compliment women. Aww. You understand that, you know, we have mental and nervous breakdowns sometimes. Like, we don't know what we want. It's so great to be with him, my boyfriend. Like, where were we? Even on Sunday, I wanted to eat. And I was like, no, I don't want to eat there. No, I don't want to eat there. And I was like, well, that looks good, but maybe if we just drive down the road a little bit and see other places. No, I don't like any of these places. So this is like a whole 20-minute like ordeal. And Hayden's just in the back chilling. Like, my boyfriend's just driving. I'm like, he's going to be so well equipped to deal with women. Yeah. And then the best story, we were on our way to a birthday party one time, and I was just not having a good day, right? Like, I didn't like anything I put on. I tried on like 12 things, and eventually he just came to my room and I was in an outfit change and he's like, you're naked. Like, why don't you have clothes on? And he's like, you just had on, it was fine. Like we're arguing like he's a grown man, right? And
how old is he?
He's 12.
And he looks like a grown 18-year-old.
And I'm like, I don't like anything. I don't like how I look. I don't want to go to his birthday party. And he's like, Mom, it's fine. Like, just put on clothes. We're late. We have to go. So we start going to the birthday party, and we only get like 2 streets away from my house. And I was like, I can't do it. We're not going. I don't like my outfit. I'm sorry. I'm like, do you want Chick-fil-A or something? And like, we just went back home, and he's like, okay. I'm like, he's going to be so well equipped to deal with women.
Wait, you didn't go?
No, we did not go.
Was it a kid's birthday party?
Something like that. I don't know. I didn't like my shoes. I
nonchalant my ass.
It was a day. They get me sometimes. But I just love that he knows women are mentally unstable.
And he just has to go with
and
the flow.
And he knows how to deal with it.
Roll with the punches.
Just go with the flow, Hayden. You'll survive.
Well, this happens to me every time I have a friend that I actually like on the show. Just kidding. I love all my friends. We just talk a lot. But we're going to okay. Before we do go over to unsolicited advice, there is one question I do want to ask you. And is there a way that everyone should prepare for a wax, and what is your ideal client?
I've
Me.
Obviously, Carla. Obviously. So I think this was in my thing too, in my notes. I have women who know nothing about waxing, so they shave. Yeah, they shave or they trim, and then they come to me for a wax. And they have no hair. Yeah, no. I don't understand this logic. I don't understand this way of thinking, but it happens like more often than you think it would happen.
So there's only one thing that I would think of why it would happen. Maybe they've gotten lasered before, and I remember when I went to get
when you laser, you have to remove your hair.
You shave before.
So I don't know. Maybe they get confused, but no. Okay, so ideal waxing client. So your hair has growth cycles. There's like 3 growth cycles, right? So if you can grow your hair for like 3 to 4 weeks, which is a long time, I get it. But if you can do that, when I wax you, we're going to get pretty much all of your hair cycles. So the problem is people, they don't wax for, I don't know, a week or 10 days or whatever. And then they don't shave. And then they come to get a wax. And then some of their hair hasn't even started growing. Some of their hair just broke through the skin. And then some of their hair is actually long enough to wax. So that means it's going to take that much longer and so many waxes to get all the hair growing at the same time, which is the goal of waxing. I hate when that happens. So if you can grow your hair for 3 to 4 weeks the first time, then when you come the first time, we can get a majority of your hair. Does that make sense?
It does, because I'm learning shit here. Because I come to you sometimes, it's like, I just need it right now. And it's parts that I know that I shaved, and other ones it's just they're growing.
And then you don't have it even.
I'm like, I have alopecia.
And then the problem is you're gonna want to shave again in like a week or 2. But if you do that, then we're never gonna establish a hair growth cycle, because now that hair is growing every 2 weeks, and the hair we wax is growing every 2 weeks, and you're not really accomplishing anything.
No, it sucks.
So someone who's willing to let the hair grow the first time, and really just willing to commit to waxing every 4 to 6 weeks, because if you don't want to keep up with it, I tell people, I'm like, you're wasting your time. You're wasting my time. You're wasting your money. It hurts. It's not
right.
It's not anything that you're going to enjoy. But if you do it the first time, then it gets better. And that's the point of doing it.
Right. And I would say for women of color as well, I have very coarse hair. Like my hair is like thick, just so big. But
it gets thinner.
So when I come to you religiously, it's so soft, and I can let it grow for like 5-6 weeks, and it's just like, I can let it grow and I don't care. I can put it on your face because it's just baby hairs coming out, and then I shave,
and then you shave, it's like,
and it comes out like, it's just I don't understand.
So bad.
I don't understand. It's like, if it's already coming out soft, why when I shave won't it come back soft?
Because shaving does the complete opposite to your hair growth as waxing.
Oh.
Shaving makes your hair grow thicker. Waxing makes your hair grow thinner. So you cannot wax and then go back to shaving, because you just do it for no reason.
And no, literally there's no reason. And then it hurts all over again. But it doesn't hurt when it thins out, and it's just amazing. And wax actually likes to play with it when it gets really thin.
It's nice.
It's just, anyways, that's probably how white women feel about it, because white women's hair is very soft, probably, right?
No. It's coarse.
I would say though, because like pubic hair is way different than what you would think. Like what's growing on your head might not look like what's growing out down there.
Pubic hair is pretty thick.
My pubic hair, bro, it looks like something from The Color Purple.
You're so dumb. That's pretty thick.
No, yeah, it is. I always thought white women had soft hair. Huh? No idea. Learn something new every day. Now that I want to see one. Anyways, moving on to unsolicited advice. Okay. We'll do one. And this one is funny because I like to bring up messy stuff. So
because you're so messy.
If you need some advice with your messy things or anything mental health or anything with family, whatever it is, send an email to shutdown30podcast@gmail.com, right at unsolicited advice or advice on the what's it called, the subject line, and we will read it on the show. So this one is unsolicited, and it says, I need your help. I had a sneaky hookup. It got me right here. I had a sneaky hookup. My man and I were getting into it for a while, and I met this other man online. We actually have mutual friends in real life. Short story, we met 3 times. Sex wasn't all that, but I cannot stop thinking about him. I have a serious soul tie that I can't break. I can think of him, and before the end of the day, I receive a text of some sort of notification from him. I think about him constantly. I pray for his well-being. I can't seem to let him go. I love my man, but I'm just not happy where I'm at. Should I jump and tell him, Secret Bae? When we last saw each other, we agreed it would be the last time. I'm just so torn at the moment. I realized the bitch is not digmatized.
Well, yeah, I'm like, you didn't read the whole thing earlier because I'm like, there's no soul tie, there's vagina tie.
You did. I gave her
like, if my vagina pulsates, like we are soul tied. But I don't know what she has going on. I don't know if I have advice for her.
I don't think that's a soul tie. A soul tie is very different.
Then what's the point?
Right. I think what she has is probably a different type of vibe with him that she doesn't have right now with her boyfriend.
So, okay. I've cheated a decent amount of times. And and like, yes, okay. Typically, if you're cheating, the reason why it doesn't work with that other person, like, was it like 5% of the time it actually works or some ridiculous number like that? It's because you don't actually like them. You just like what they have. Like, it's fun. It's new. They're like filling in whatever void you have. It's exciting. You're doing something wrong. Like, it's so many other things than that actual person. And if you're with them, it wouldn't be exciting. It would get boring. It would be the same shit you're having in your relationship. But people don't understand that. It's like the grass is on the greener other side.
Yeah, the grass is definitely not greener. So if the sex isn't even all that, which
I'm like, what?
No, but since I'm not a very like sexual person when it comes to that, I have to have a connection with you in order to like enjoy sex. I was thinking it was probably you're like, I'll take the dick. So I think it's just you're getting from him what you weren't getting or what you think you're missing from your boyfriend, and that's not gonna happen.
It's like a fantasy,
right? It's definitely just a fantasy. So should you tell this guy? Absolutely not, because you're probably the same thing to him.
Probably.
And he knows you're in a relationship. You guys have mutual friends. Why end up being the talk of the group chats for no reason? Because you don't have a future with this guy. So what should you do? Leave shit cut off. I always get a notification. Bitch, because he posts on Instagram. He's not notifying you.
No.
You just turned on your notification post.
Those notifications on. And if you look for something, you're going to find it
every single time.
So her being like, oh, I just think about him, and then okay, whatever, girl. No.
It's like he was wearing a black shirt. Oh my god, that's a black shirt.
Is that black?
It's
my favorite color.
My favorite.
Clearly, my husband. I'm sorry. This girl is like hurting. It's because we've had counseling and therapy, and she clearly has not. So we're like on the other side of what she's going through.
We really are.
So my advice would be to go to counseling.
1,000%.
And you probably need to break up with your boyfriend and, get some healing on that and whatever.
Yeah, you have to do that. I know I talked to someone recently and I was like, maybe you might not be, there's stages to a breakup, especially if it's a long-term relationship.
Oh yeah.
And sometimes you just can't say fuck it and up and leave emotionally. Maybe financially you can, but emotionally you can't. And I was there and I thought, I loved the way that I was able to break away from my tie and my comfort zone and that tie that I had in that long-term relationship. And I went to counseling by my damn self and started working on me and started growing myself.
Pretty impressive. You had a whole life transformation.
I had to.
Yeah.
I was just so deep into it and it wasn't growing. And I'm like, I'm stuck here and it's been years and years and there's no growth. Why am I not growing? I'm not a stagnant person, but I was so stagnant. But going through therapy, although I was still in the relationship and we were still damn near living together, I started moving in my own direction. And then it gets to a point where that thread is so thin that it just
Well, you're growing and you're kind of over here, and then they stay here, right?
And you just move on. The thread breaks, and you don't feel it. Once you're gone, and then that's when you're able to then find someone else or build a business or find true happiness, because the happiness doesn't come from another person. I cannot say wax made me happy. I was already in a state of mind where I wanted to be happy, and I was there. I made myself happy with my job. So you're looking for happiness in another man.
And I know a lot of women, I'm sure you do too, like they go with the other guy and they're not happy, or, you know, the guy's cheating and they're cheating. And then guess what? You're in a relationship and you're cheating and he's cheating. Why is that a surprise?
I did it for the longest time. I was married to Alex, Ayana's dad. Then I went from there to another relationship, to another relationship, to another. I never took a break, and I did it again. But the difference between not taking a break this time is that I was already emotionally working on myself.
You're in a different mental space.
Yeah, completely. So it was, whatever reason I was there, it wasn't for that.
Also, though, whatever is, I mean, everything comes to the light. So the problematic part about her writing in is that she said, should I jump and tell him, talking about her secret bae? Like, her boyfriend's feelings are not even a consideration in this whole
He was not named at all.
Period.
She did not feel bad.
Should I tell him it's over or not?
How I'm feeling.
Awful.
She knows it's over. And I think it's about not being like a coward and having that conversation. Because
like you said, we know it's over.
Yeah. Right. You can't be over it in your head though and not communicate that to the other person, because that's when you start building resentment. Like, they're supposed to read your mind. Like, no, you never communicated this is where you are. So you can't just like feel that urge somewhere else and like avoid a tough conversation.
That's true.
So yeah, just move on. Let it go. You're probably mentally there. Emotionally, it's going to take a little bit. It's going to hurt, but just find something else to put your energy towards instead of another man.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
There's
just
way better things.
Way better. So, do I even have one? I feel like I've been in a mood or in a state where I might not even have a shit talk. Has anyone really pissed me off lately? I haven't been. The only little shit around here has been this baby in my stomach recently.
You read my mind. I was like, maybe not yet, but any day now the shit talk is going to be about the baby. That's the first. I was like, well, the baby is clearly causing issues.
The baby is causing some issues, you know, like
I love that you said that, because that's like the first thing I thought of.
So if there is a shit talk to be had, it's probably
about being pregnant.
You know, although like I'm loving it, and I already feel like I'm going to miss like being pregnant when I'm not. But it's hard, and it's hard in your fucking 30s. And it's okay that it's hard. I'm thinking, like, I feel him. I freak out when I don't feel him for a while, because now he's like so active. But my back hurts. I feel like I wobble when I walk.
Like, I can't drink.
I can't
get Botox.
This bitch has Botox parties all the time, and
You're like, can I not do that?
Can I anything right now? Anyway, Samantha, she posted that her birthday's coming up. I'm gonna go skydiving, and I'm like, can you wait for me? And she's just like, but no, just wait. As soon as the baby drops off. It's not really
how birthdays work. Like, can you just not have your birthday?
Right. So, like, it just seems like there's just nothing I can do. But, I mean, what I can do is just sit my ass here and enjoy my... I eat chocolate cake without guilt. So, I ate chocolate cake for breakfast. Did you see that? I did. So I ate for breakfast this morning.
I love it.
That's all I ate other than, like, the Panera. So, yeah, Ayana did get a little jealous. She's like, don't call a baby little shit. That's my name. And I'm like, good job there, buddy.
I was on mute, but I was like, toxic.
So toxic.
Wax's piece of shit.
We're
Ayana's
very,
like,
shit. Aligned right now.
There's a lot of toxicity in my house. But we all know each other's language. It's a language that has to be spoken. Not everyone can do that. So do not strive, or is it strive? Strive to be like my family, because your feelings will get hurt. You have to have very thick skin and understand this language to be it. But has anything happened to you, Ms. Nonchalant, recently that you're just like, ugh, I'm rolling my eyes to?
I mean, besides my crazy ass mother.
Your mom.
Not that much else going on. Just trying to sell our house.
Her mom is
I live in and pay all the bills for. It's fine. It's fine.
Her mom is going through it, and you're handling it like a fucking champ.
Well, you think that.
Well, you are, because you're not in jail.
I haven't burnt the house down yet.
You haven't whooped her ass.
Or knocked over the realtor sign. Which I've considered on multiple occasions.
But the sign is up. It's probably online somewhere, so it's not much you can do.
There's only so much I can do.
Yeah, you haven't gone to any violence. I'm sure you're angry, and there's a lot of aggression there, but just keep it inside. And keep going to the beach. Every time I see your fucking Instagram,
you literally read my mind. I was like, I just go to the beach a lot.
Fuck
the beach is my home.
I don't ever get a phone call. It's like the pregnant people can't go to the beach either.
Yes, they can.
Okay,
we can go to the beach.
I want to go.
Okay.
Can we please?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I tell you that, and then if you invite me, I'm going to be like, I can't.
I feel like we had a date planned, and then you canceled. So we're going to add that.
I mean, Jenna, when you have a boat and a lake, like two
when
two
I
seconds
live
away
on
from your house.
The intercoastal with a boat and 2 jet skis and
why would I be going to a Joe
and
Schmo beach? Exactly. I got a jet ski back here. Come on, Jenna.
I like the beach, but my boyfriend doesn't like the beach, so I always have to go with someone. But
we can go.
Okay, we'll figure it out. We shall figure it out. But
That's
anyway,
all the shit talk I can really think of.
And it'll get better. I promise. I'm praying for you. But can you tell everyone, especially locally, because I know Salon Catalyst is here.
Yes.
Local. All that you guys do and how to get there.
So it's Catalyst Salon, and we're in the Mills 50 district. The Pride Parade actually came by when I was at work on Saturday. I was like, this is so exciting. I just love that. We're in that district, and I just love it there. And so we do spray tanning and waxing and lashes and hair. Actually, we have a girl who specializes in curly hair.
She cut my hair.
It just makes me so excited because I have curly hair and I own a salon. And typically, you go into a salon and it's usually all white people or all black people. And so in my salon, we have mixed people and black people and white people and Spanish people and just all different types of people working.
It's a melting pot.
I love it. And we do lashes and teeth whitening. And then we have Botox once a month.
I love it. And then possibly coming, stay tuned for the pregnancy trimming services.
Pregnancy trimming service.
I will be the
those are coming any day now. Carla's our ambassador.
I shall be the ambassador for the pregnancy trimming. This should be at every fucking salon.
This is so great.
But Salon Catalyst will be the first to have it on the menu.
I love
pregnancy trimming for those women that cannot see their JJs. And the Whoppy Wops need to still be taken care of.
Yes.
Anywho, make sure that you guys share this episode with your friends. I feel like this is a lot things that we just don't really know or talk about.
I'm I didn't know what to expect. You just told me to get some waxing stories, but I feel like we went really in depth into women and bodies and vaginas, and I'm just all about all these things.
Yeah, talking about vaginas is great. But make sure you share with your friends. Go ahead and follow Jenna. I think, what is your Instagram? JennaNaked.com. I'm sorry. What is it?
No.
If you're going to catch all her naked pictures.
It's Jenna Lynn M. Jenna _Lynn _M.
I'll tag her.
I'll probably just change it to Jenna Melberg because I want to be classy like you. So
yes, I think
getting
you
there.
should. We'll figure. You guys will see her all over my Instagram. She's always naked, amazing pictures. She does what are those pictures called?
Boudoir
pictures, whatever they are. You guys can look it up. You'll see it on her stuff. But anywho, share with your friends, rate and review on Apple Podcasts. You guys know that is where I live, reading y'all's reviews and seeing the ratings so the show can keep going up and up. And don't forget that October 27th, it is the launch of Whatever She Says, and she is me. I get to do whatever the fuck I want when I want it, and whatever I say goes in my household. That's it. I tried anywhere else, they're gonna be like, no,
Carla, manifest that shit.
Whatever Carla says. So it's whatever she says. I'm gonna teach all the women how to get your way, or think that you're getting your way in your relationship. Wax is probably going to talk some shit and say things that I'm just going to dismiss the whole entire time. But that's how it works. And I'm going to show you how you should never call another relationship your relationship goals. Because my goal, or what I have going on and what was working for me, is not going to work for you. If you have a man that speaks to you like Wax speaks to me, 90% of you women out there would crumble and would cry and would call it abuse. to me, I understand the language. Most men cannot handle the way I speak or the way that I am with wax. And I've been there and I've seen it, and it's not so. No one is your relationship goals. You have to be your own goals. So I want you guys to see that within our podcast, that everything, you know, it looks great, but you're going to start seeing the in depth, like, oh my gosh, she's okay with that, or he's okay with that, or what's
God's working on all of us.
God is definitely working on all of us, but we're all very different.
And you see, like, the highlight reel of people's relationships, right? And they always say, like, the more in love or the more they post, probably the more they hate each other, which is like, because me, right, with my clients, I see all the behind the scenes shit. And then I also see, like, oh, love of my life. And I'm like, girl, you just broke up with him like 4 times. He has a whole girlfriend. But on social media, they're like goals, right? And literally. I'm like, okay, this shit's not real.
Right. And I don't like to live. I share a lot on social media. And there's some things that I do keep to myself. But I remember one time when I had, like, I missed your appointment and I was just crying and I was so upset because he kept being late. And I was I pregnant by then?
Yeah.
I think maybe I wasn't. I didn't know, or I was pregnant.
I think you knew.
I was just so emotional. Do you remember that, May? I was just crying because he kept being
keys. And I was like, it's right?
No,
I'm like,
you don't understand. She was like, my vagina just looks like a wolf. I just don't know what I'm supposed to do.
And I'm just like, it's okay.
I cannot stand missing the appointments or being late, but we don't have the perfect relationship. It's just perfect for us. And I want everyone to just find that perfect person for them, even when they get on your nerves, and how to get over, like, you know, petty arguments. And so you guys can see, you know, us and just be entertained with us, because honestly, I can't keep it to myself. We have too much fun together at home. And the importance of making your friend your lover.
Yes.
You can't just date a guy for their dick. It's cool, but they have to be your friend too. Anyways, I'll see you guys again next week, October 27th, whatever she says. Make sure that if you are in the Central Florida area, or you come to Disney World at some point in time, come get a tan by Jenna, or a wax, or a teeth whitening, or whatever the fuck else she does.
All the things.
All the women things at Salon Catalyst. And I will see you guys again next week. Goodbye.